Hey, I'm Dorrie, and I am a happy and proud cannabis user. I was diagnosed 7 years ago with multiple sclerosis. Apparently, I'd had it for 20 years before I was ever diagnosed. I did notice that I was having a little bit of problems over the years, but we're always told that's because we're getting older. And unfortunately, that's not always true. Most of the time, it's not true. I had a health crash. At the same time, I had some mercury overload, some mercury toxicity, which kind of triggered the MS into a full-blown deal. I was in a wheelchair 7 years ago. I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, I couldn't form words, I couldn't read. My cognition was just, here I was with a PhD and I couldn't even read because it just seemed like I was reading a foreign language. I couldn't even understand it or cognate. And my world was very, very small. And a friend of mine encouraged me to try cannabis. I also had a tremendous, just my whole body would shake like this all the time, just 24 hours, even in my sleep. Parkinson's at least gets a break when you sleep, but I could not stop it. And it was exhausting, so I was constantly fatigued and just embarrassed to go in public because it felt like I was a homeless, person, just whatever, hobo, whatever. I just felt awful about myself. And I began to try cannabis. I grew up very conservative, in the church, and that was always a thing that was just taboo. You just didn't do. So I didn't drink or do drugs or whatever. And what I realized very quickly was cannabis isn't a drug; it's medicine. And as I just began to smoke just simple, old school, rolling toke, it was just pretty cool because the tremor stopped and I would have this tremendous relief and the burning in the nerves would stop for a few minutes and I could actually just begin to relax. And as my body began to relax over the months, it began to heal itself and it began to remyelinate the nerve linings, and to where, today, here six and a half years later, here I am, being able to go to Pilates and ride my bike and have a rich and juicy and happy life. So yay, cannabis.